Oh, we didn't get picks from the guy, so we phoned him up, and this is what they're saying. Luis Garcia says Barcelona's going to win 2-1, and Pablo, with his anti-Barcelona pro-Español way, says Real Madrid's going to win 2-1. So absolutely no bias in those picks at all from our gentlemen over in Madrid. Let's pick up on the conversation they were having, Ale. What do you think of Gerard Pique? Not necessarily the fantastic comments there, but how he might fit into this game and whether he should really be moved from the lineup at this point.
Well, given the lack of options for Xavi, I think you live and die with Gerard Pique. Now,
how nervous does that make you?
Well, it doesn't fill me with a whole lot of security, if that's what you're asking, particularly when you think about the mistake. That was so very obvious to see against Inter. Now, Luis says, well, everybody makes mistakes. Yeah, but that's a huge moment. And that's a mistake that changed the dynamics of that game. And then what was even more concerning is how disorganized Barcelona got defensively and how stretched they got. And he is at the heart of that. He is at the heart of providing that leadership. And the fact that they just got stretched and all over the place says a lot as to what's going on defensively for Barcelona. But because you have no options, you live and die with Gerard Pique. And here's the real issue for Gerard Pique. It's not what he is or isn't right now at this point in his career. It's the fact that the guy next to him cannot cover for him. So when Piqué makes a mistake, when Piqué is out of position, when Piqué cannot keep up with the athleticism of an attacking player, or simply doesn't have the speed, or doesn't read the space because he can't quite get there, it's not like Eric Garcia is going to help you out. Because Eric Garcia also made a huge mistake against Lautaro Martinez against Inter, and has made mistakes over the course of his career with Barcelona. Eric Garcia is not a guy that you rely upon to be the guy who's going to give you solidity defensively. The guy who's going to be a no-doubter. You know what? If Piqué cannot do it, don't worry. We got Eric Garcia. So that's a concern, that now you have a lesser version of Gerard Piqué and then whatever you got with Eric Garcia. And that combination simply doesn't seem to be working out all that well. But who else is he going to play?
Yeah, Shaka, what about the man management part of it? Because we heard the guys talking about it there. If Xavi pulls Piqué, it's pretty much signaling him as the culprit.
Yeah, and listen, I think there's a lot to this. Not just Piqué's performances or lack thereof, but the magnitude of this game. This is, without question, Barcelona's biggest game of the season so far. Time may prove the pivotal game in what could be this season, of course. There's another Clásico to come. And the pressure that comes with that, I'm not sure that Barcelona have the personnel who can handle that all very well. Better than Gerard Piqué. Do you put Frankie de Jong, who's not a natural centre-back, to the discussion, to play as a centre-back in this game against this front three of Real Madrid? And I think not, which is why I'm thinking, like Ali, you live and die by Gerard Piqué. If at the very least, if only for his experience in this circumstance, because this, whatever the result, this defines a lot of not just Barcelona's seasons, but a lot of individual seasons, given the way the season has gone.
And here's the other thing I would say about defensively. Pablo mentioned, go back to basics, right? And then sit behind the ball and get tight. Well, that's not Barcelona. What's Barcelona's basics? It's not defending tight. It's not what they do naturally. And so you can now try to fake it and say, you know what, guys? Let's get tight. Let's get behind the ball. Let's get conservative. It's not your style of play. It's not what the players that you have on the field want to do or feel naturally. And it's not like they're looking at this and saying, yeah, if we organize ourselves, we're just going to keep it tight and keep the 0. That is not within the personality of this group. So if I'm Xavi, instead of Alejandro Valde, instead of Marcos Alonso, I have to give some sort of threat offensively down the left-hand side. And why am I bringing this up? Because I think that it may just be Jordi Alba that gives you the best option. A lot of experience. Now, is he going to help you defensively? Well, I guess not. But the threat of him down the left-hand side may just get enough attention from Real Madrid to where they aren't just free to pop people on both sides and attack you from everywhere. If you are Jordi Alba, you can get up and down the left-hand side, and it will help the unbalance that Barcelona has offensively. Because if you have Rafinha and Dembele on the field, they are not effective if one of them is on the left. They're both effective on the right, not effective on the left. So you need that presence. Marco Alonso is not going to give you that, and Valde doesn't give you that.
There's some discussion whether De Jong is best deployed in this match in central defense or in midfield. What would you do?
I love me some Sergio Busquets. I really love what he has done over the course of his career, but there are moments now where it's so very obvious that the game is moving at a different pace. And while Barcelona is able to control the pace of the game, then it's great to have Sergio Busquets. But when the game gets stretched and it gets in a back and forth, which this could very well happen, given the fact that Real Madrid is willing to wait for you so that they can get out in transition. In those moments in transitions, I don't think Sergio Busquets helps you all that much. I would say Frenkie de Jong gives you a better option. But if you're looking for stability, you're looking for experience, then it's very difficult to get Sergio Busquets off the field. And if that's the case, you leave Busquets on, you leave Pedri because of his quality, and the guy that you would question would be Gavi. Is his intensity enough to keep him on the field, or do you bring the quality of Frenkie de Jong?
If there's a big worry here for Real Madrid, Thibaut Courtois out. Put yourselves in the shoes of Andre Lunin. Huge match, 23-year-old guy, not a whole lot of experience. That's got to be some nerves.
Not a lot of experience, but what, 4 games on the spin now, and only 1 clean sheet against Getafe, and I think that's a concern. And while Real Madrid have somehow managed to get the job done in Champions League and Sydney top of La Liga, a lot of their football hasn't been that great. And I just wonder how much of that is because Courtois isn't there and the defense are a little bit more cautious and the midfield just play 3 or 4 yards a little bit deeper. So it does have a knock-on effect. But in this circumstance, against this opposition, you want to be at home, you want to feel comfortable, you get that, and you play your way into this game. And to Ali's point, you know Barcelona are more likely to play on the front foot, or at least want to play on the front foot. And that can also make your mind up defensively as to how much deeper you drop in protecting Lunin, and then look for those moments. If I'm Lunin, if I'm the goalkeeper coach at Real Madrid, I'm just saying you just take it easy, play your way into this game. We've got more than enough experience to cope with this situation. We aren't the ones under pressure here. Barca are. You just let this game take its own shape naturally.
Well, thank you very much for watching ESPN on YouTube. For more sports highlights and analysis, be sure to download the ESPN app. And for live streaming, premium content, and let's not forget as well, ESPN FC 7 days a week. Subscribe to ESPN Plus.